Miss Sarah Teaster. Let's have a big hand for your homecoming queen, Miss Sarah Teaster, and her entire court.
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, the home of some of the best tourist attractions across the southeast. You can see the Ferris wheel in the distance glowing among those trees, but tonight we've got a different type of attraction, some Region 2 3A high school football. Pigeon Forge and the Northview Academy Cougars set to clash tonight in what is a must-win for both teams. Jake Nichols here with you for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Glad to be joined by Lucas Harkleroad this week. Lucas, it's your first time on the broadcast, and as we get ready for this national anthem and ready for the game, what are you excited about tonight?
Well, first off, I'm excited about just being here for football. You know, 8 weeks ago, who would have ever thought we'd been here in this position? And next, I mean, look at all the attractions, look at the fans. I mean, you've got kids out here enjoying football, you've got the cheerleaders, you have the bands. The kids are back to some sort of normalcy, trying to live their lives and enjoying their high school career.
And I know that's great to see, because you think about the impact that high school football has, especially like here in East Tennessee. You know, they rely on that so much. We saw on Twitter players talking about wanting to play this season. Pause for a moment for the national anthem. Thanks to the Pigeon Forge Band for a wonderful rendition of our nation's anthem. But again, going back to just the thrill of being here for high school football, Lucas, you know, I talked about in week 1 with Chris Blevins how we might not know how many weeks we would see of this season, but now being in week 8 and talking about a big matchup that could easily determine playoff hopes for both teams tonight. You know, we didn't know if we'd get here, but it is really, really great to have, especially with two teams that are very familiar with each other.
Oh, absolutely. With Pigeon Forge here tonight, you've got Coach Meadows, who is trying to get them back to where they were a few years ago when he was here. You've got on the Northview side Coach Woods, who's trying to get them back to where they were when Coach Loveday was with them. But you got some good athletes out here on both sides of the ball. Just need a little bit of luck and keep the spirits high for them tonight.
And then for Northview, number 75, Ryan Wright. The two captains represented tonight. And another thing that's not quite as normal as what we would typically see. You know, in other seasons there would be 3 or 4 guys representing each team. But now, of course, only one with each. But again, Pigeon Forge coming in at 3-2 on the season so far. Northview at 3-4.
Northview will receive.
So Northview set to receive the football. So Angel Melendez set to tee it up here for the Tigers. Scott Meadows in his second stint here at Pigeon Forge. Won a state title with Alcoa in 2000 and said he is back happy to be back here amongst the Tigers in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. A pivotal matchup with the Northview Cougars, and here we go. Northview going to take it inside its own 20 and blasted at the 25 and taken back.
Stop by number 2, Hussein Al-Satani.
Big stop by Hussein Al-Satani on the play. And Lucas, he mentioned in the pregame that he was a name we would hear a lot tonight. So Johnny Webster and company going to start out at their own 30-yard line.
I have seen the Al-Satani boys. I've seen them quite a few years now, and they are athletic, they are long, and they are fast.
So Webster going to come out in the shotgun on 1st and 10, 11:54 left in the first quarter, and he'll hand off the first play from scrimmage. And Chase Kellaway will take a 5-yard gain for 2nd and 5. And Al-Satani there again on the stop. 2 straight tackles for him on the night on these opening 2 plays.
That was a big push for the Northview offensive line right there. Kellaway didn't get touched until he was 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. That was a good seal on this side by Big Brian Wright.
2nd and 5, ball at the 35. Bad snap. Webster tries to take it. No, brought down in the backfield.
Number 3, Johnny Webster.
And Al-Satani again on the tackle,
Number 8,
along with number 8, Caleb Hughes. Just an egregious snapping error for the Cougars. But they will snap it again, this time 3rd and short. Or 3rd and 11, actually. After the loss, ball at the 29, inside 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Webster falls down in the backfield, and not the way you want to start things out if you're a Northview Cougar. Bumping into your own running back and then stumbling backwards for a 4th and very long.
Absolutely not. With the modified type wing tee coming out of the shotgun, timing is everything. And it's anything more than 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 is going to be tough when you rely on running the football.
So Northview set to punt it away from inside its own 5. And the Cougars will take it. The snap is muffed.
Looks
And
like
Northview has it. The Cougars get a stretch of luck early on 4th and 23. And the punt is muffed and Northview gets it back. What a stroke of good fortune there for Northview on this first drive.
Absolutely. That was a great punt by Northview's punter, who has one of the greatest names to say as an announcer, and his name is Jimmy Kuznicki. And that was a good high turn, and the punt actually turned over right when it got to the returner's hands.
So 1st and 10, and perhaps a little bit of momentum here for Northview at their own 38. Webster going to give up the middle again, and not much to gain on 1st down. Northview trying to establish that running game, but still a staunch performance so far from the Pigeon Forge defensive line.
That was Gildersleeve on the carry, and he was met almost as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 from the 38 here for Northview. And Webster setting up in the pistol. We saw that a lot a couple weeks ago when they took on Kingston. And Webster going to take it himself at the 35, tries to skirt across the 40 and out of bounds. So Johnny Webster with what looked to be about a 3-yard gain, but he went probably 15 yards to get there to bring up 3rd down.
That looked like it was busted from the start. He come over to the side and didn't have a pitch man with him. Looks like the running back might have went to the wrong side of the ball. On the flip side, it does not look like Pigeon Forge is respecting the passing game of Northview very much. They've got everybody crammed up to the line of scrimmage right now.
When you watch Northview warm up, I noticed that Webster was using that sidearm a lot.
He is a baseball player, and Webster's a great athlete. It's typically he's only got probably less than 10 games as a quarterback.
3rd and 5, and Cruz Mendoza carries, but met quickly by Al-Sultani in the backfield. Brings up another 4th down for the Cougars. We'll see if the Tigers can take their first offensive possession of the game this time around.
But yes, Webster, back to him. He is a pure athlete. He's a baseball player, and when everything shut down for COVID this year, not having spring practice or early practice hurt him tremendously. Another good punt by Kuznicki. He dropped it.
Keegan Rayfield muffs it this time. And unbelievably, the Cougars recover again inside the opposing 30-yard line.
And first one down there to hit him after the muffed punt was number 32, Gavin Ogle for Northview.
And another stroke of misfortune there for Pigeon Forge, but it bounces Northview's way again. 2 straight muffed punts for the Tigers. And starting off for Scott Meadows in this game, not the way you want to go. But the Tigers get the ball back, 1st and 10 at their own 30. Schultz going to go left side and has Al-Sultani out to the 35.
Stop by host of Cougars.
That was great reaction on Northview's part right there. Big 75 Ryan Wright, one of the first ones over there. Right now, Northview has 2 very young linebackers. You have number 28, a sophomore, Jackson Gent, and number 44, Evan Potiker. He's a freshman.
So Pigeon Forge now set up with 2nd down. Schultz going to hand off up the middle. And his tailback, Heffler, tries to get up to the 40-yard line, but brought down close to the 38.
That was good play on Northview's Evan Potiker on the tackle. That entire right side of Pigeon Forge offensive line just collapsed the defensive line and had a pretty good seal. But Effler, that's another name that you're going to hear a lot tonight. He's another one of them outstanding athletes from Pigeon Forge.
Tigers now set up with 3rd and 3. And Schultz going to throw. Dropped close to the 50-yard line. Intended that time for Corey Bohannon, but instead brings up 4th down for Pigeon Forge. And Northview this time has to try to capitalize offensively because they have the last time out.
That pass right there, if it had been brought in by Bohannon, he might have been talking 6 points on that one.
Tigers going to punt.
What a roll.
And the ball will go down inside the Northview 30-yard line.
At the 27-yard line.
They'll mark it at the 27 and make it 1st and 10 for Johnny Webster and his offense with 73 yards to go.
Right now, I just believe they're both trying to get to field. There's a lot of for both teams. They're just trying to fill each other out right now, and hopefully one of them can take advantage of a good break or field position.
6:36 left in the first quarter, and around the left end goes number 5, number 6, Tyler Gildersleeve on the carry.
Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Pigeon Forge had that covered really well. He just turned the shoulders a little bit and snaked through the line of scrimmage to pick up about another 3 yards.
Ball on the 34 here for Northview, and 2nd and short with a little over 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Jake Nichols and Lucas Harkle-Rode here with you on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week, as Cruz Mendoza has some room on the right side and gets across the 40 for the first My Smoky TV Live first down of the night. My Smoky TV Live, be sure and catch Victoria and Roddy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. for everything you need to know in Sevier County. So ball on the 31 now for the Cougars, and a fresh set of downs with a little over 5.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
With watching both of these teams on film this week and prior to the season, it's going to be put on the defensive shoulders all night long.
Webster up the middle and almost out to the 50-yard line.
Stop number 3, Noah Dyer.
So a solid gain there for Johnny Webster, but tackled by Noah Dyer, and the Cougars almost across the 50 for the first time on offense today.
That was a big run by Webster right there.
And you talked about his talent in baseball, but certainly an athlete all across the field here for Northview as it brings up 2nd and short. Webster going to hand off, and Cruz Mendoza gets the first down and more. Ball across the 50. And Northview in plus territory. Chase Kellaway actually on the carry for the Cougars, and it'll bring up another My Smoky TV Live first down for Northview. And they may have found a little momentum here with this offense and that misdirection, Lucas.
With that misdirection they're doing right now. We have seen handoffs going to the right, coming back to the left. Now we've seen 2 up the middle, and even Webster on the first time he's really kept it on a design run for him. So they are sort of on their heels trying to figure them out right now.
Cruz Mendoza going to take it again, brought down in the backfield. And a couple Tigers there to make the play. Looked like Caleb Wolf was in on the tackle, as well as Brady Maples. Maples, another big name for that Pigeon Forge offense. Whenever we're able to see them on the field, he's a solid option at tailback.
Absolutely. That was a big play on that defensive end over there. He held his position perfect. If he had crashed in too much on that play, Mendoza could have just turned it up, but he played that perfect. And in this wing T style, if the running backs can't get their foot planted and shoulders turned, there's really nowhere for them to go.
2nd and 3 at the 48, and Webster up the middle.
Number 3, Johnny Webster. Throw down by number 57. Stop the
I believe it might be 4th and short. No, 3rd and short. If you'll excuse me, I may have pulled a Tom Brady there.
Yeah, that's going to be about 3rd and 12 to go right here.
Ball on the 47 for Northview. And just over 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Score is still tied at 0 in a major Region 2 3A showdown. A must-win for both teams tonight. As Webster will roll right, has a man down the sideline, and an incomplete. Intended that time for number 5, Yamin Skordas. And instead, it'll bring up 4th down.
Skordas was wide open. Johnny threw it a little bit hot, but on that play, Johnny could have almost got to first down territory. Nobody staying home with him. He could have turned the shoulders and probably easily got 7 or 8 yards on that play.
Instead, it brings up 4th down, and Pigeon Forge sends 2 back to receive. Hassan Al-Satani and Keegan Rayfield. Sultani will let it roll, and Pigeon Forge gets a great bounce off the punt from Jimmy Kuznicki. Looks like Pigeon Forge is going to start inside its own 15-yard line.
That was a big kick right there. Let it go out of bounds. It's just inside right at the 10, 11-yard line right now. Pigeon Forge needs a big drive. I would say you will see Coach Meadows come out and start opening up a little bit, trying to get Northview on its heels. He had it close on that last slant where the receiver crossed in front of the cornerback's face, but could not hold on to the ball in the last possession.
So Pigeon Forge coming out at 1st and 10 with 2:36 remaining in the first quarter. Ball on their own 11. Schultz going to go on a sweep. Al-Sultani has some room, across the 25 and out to almost the 25-yard line.
Al-Sultani, pure athlete. If he gets 2 steps on somebody, I do not think you're going to catch him in the open field.
Northview lucky to bring him down that time. Brings up a big first down for Pigeon Forge. And a My Smoky TV Live first down at that. As mentioned, catch Victoria and Roddy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for everything you need to know in Sevier County. 1st and 10 at the 23 for Pigeon Forge. And Schultz going to give it again up the middle and with some room. A fantastic run by Joseph Skidmore out to the 45-yard line. Actually, Aiden Howard on the carry. First down for the Tigers. And just like Northview found something with that running game on the last possession, Pigeon Forge going straight up the gut for a big gain.
He was 10 yards downfield before anybody laid a hand on him, and he went through the guard tackle split.
1st and 10 at the 46 for Pigeon Forge. And they'll give it up the middle again.
35.
This time it is Aiden Littles plowing ahead for second down.
Jackson Gent, first to hit from Northview.
Second down.
Looks like they have found something that's working in between the tackles right now.
And Lucas, that's something that a big size differential can do on that offensive line for Pigeon Forge.
Oh, absolutely. But especially once you get into the 3rd, 4th quarter, if it's still a close ball game at that time, just them leaning on you wears them legs out so quickly.
2nd and 6, ball at midfield. Schultz going to throw left side, had all Sultani, but it falls incomplete, brings up 3rd and 6 with a little over 45 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Al-Sultani had a lot of green in front of him. Them eyes might have sort of shifted downfield looking at the end zone instead of watching the ball all the way in.
Instead brings up 3rd and 6 at the 50, 47.9 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter. And during the huddle real quick, Lucas, I know you do a lot of work for Sevier County Electric, so talk about that for a moment.
Well, I've been with Sevier County Electric for a long time, and working with your high school sports has been really great. It gets us out in the community, and it allows us to reach areas like Northview Academy and even out to the Seymour area in some cases, because we do not get to serve that entire area. We serve some of them, but talking about storm awareness and what to do during a storm, and then we've got other programs out. We have a phenomenal new homes rebate program for anybody building houses, water heater programs that we try to help with our customers and in the community.
Schultz able to find Al-Sultani for the first down and looked like he just barely got it, but it'll be another fresh set of downs here for Pigeon Forge as we near the closing moments of the 1st quarter. The Tigers with a 1st and 10 at the opposing 44. Schultz up the middle again, and Maples
by number 22, Brady
gets close to the 35-yard line.
That offensive line's getting another great push. He was 5 yards downfield before the linebackers were even able to stand up to get a hand on him.
So the end of the 1st quarter, and we are still tied at 0.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
4th and 2, and the Tigers going to go for it. Loaded formation, and up the middle is Brady Maples, and that'll be a first down for Pigeon Forge, giving the big fella the rock up the gut, and it results in a big first down for the Tigers.
They also put in 57, Al-Jawari, as a lead blocker on that play too. So it was like a bulldozer running through that line.
If you want any comparison to Tennessee's loaded offensive front right now, I think that would be it.
That was it. That front seven for Northview right there didn't really have a chance. They had a full head of steam going at them.
1st and 10 at the 33. Pigeon Forge's offense moving now with a little under 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Al-Sultani finds a lane at the 30 and inside the 25-yard line.
We got a flag down back here at the 36-yard line.
Holding on the play, and that is a major penalty for the Tigers early on. Looked like they had another dose of momentum there with Al-Sultani down the left sideline, but instead it's going to be going back.
It looked like Devin Miller, number 64 there from Northview, got a good jump off of that defensive line, and he sort of got the shoulders turned. Left tackle couldn't do anything with him, and it caused him to get hooked. So that's where the penalty come in right there.
Brings up 1st down and very long here for Pigeon Forge. Line to gain is the 24-yard line. So 1st and 21 for Mason Schultz. He's going to throw. Has plenty of time over the middle and incomplete. Intended for Aiden Littles. And another one through the hands there for Pigeon Forge. And Littles had plenty of room in front of him, had a blocker right in front too.
Had a blocker, green grass in front of him, and probably on 4 passes now, nobody within 10 yards if they'd have made that reception. Quarterback stood in there big time, Mason Schultz. Ryan Wright bearing down on him. He even took a lick and still made a really good throw right there.
2nd and 22 now from the 46. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Mason Schultz still trying to find a receiver tonight. But he'll hand off up the middle. And Bryce Effler will take it for a couple. Brought down by Caleb Snyder on the carry. And a big 3rd down here for Pigeon Forge. You can see a couple of those bigger bodies coming back in for the Pigeon Forge offense. Brady Maples and Joseph Skidmore. And Effler, one that you'll hear a lot in this running game, but now pretty much no choice but to pass on 3rd and 18.
Right now what you want to do if you're Northview is get those front 4, get some pressure without using any of the backers or anything. If you can do that, maybe you can stay close to the receivers during this play.
9:35 left in the second quarter. Schultz tries to make something happen and slips at the 42. And got to be a frustrating moment there for the Tigers quarterback, as it'll bring up 4th and 19.
Devin Miller come through for Northview untouched. He's the one that threw that hole, threw the wrench into that play that just cogged it up. Mason Schultz had nowhere to go, lost his footing coming off the turf.
Northview set to receive. And back is Alex Cruz Mendoza as the punt goes off from Bryce Effler. And hit hard out of bounds is actually number 15, Kyle Kalnasy. And it'll bring up 1st down for Northview inside their own 20-yard line. And man, he really got hammered on that punt return, didn't he?
He really did get hammered. Several years ago, you would have got hammered going back over to the coach's side. You're supposed to put your feet on the 20 or the 50. If the ball goes past it, let it go.
1st and 10 at the 10, so 90 yards to work with here for Johnny Webster. We'll see if he can make something happen. Going almost in a constant shotgun here, and Webster going to try to take it up the middle for no gain.
Pigeon Forge just loading the box right now. Looks like they're on man coverage out on the corners and 2 deep back. They're just really daring Northview to try to throw it. They're not going to let them have the run for nothing tonight.
And we've seen him in football, or I have, but talk about Webster a little bit in baseball and what you've seen from him on the diamond.
Everything I've heard, I've seen very little, but what I have seen and everything I've heard, he can hit with power. He can throw the ball from anywhere on the field and is a good pitcher.
2nd and 10 from the 10 here for Northview. 7:58 remaining in the second quarter, still tied 0-0. Left side and some room to work for Yamin Skurdas.
We got a flag.
Stop by number 25, Caleb Wolf. Brings up 3rd down.
And a flag on the play. You can see some clapping on that Pigeon Forge defense.
It looks like it's ended up going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. Or blocking the back.
Blocking the back by the Cougars.
Blocking the back for Northview. Brings up 3rd and very long with 7:45 remaining here in the second quarter. If you're just joining us, Jake Nichols here with Lucas Harkle-Road for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Joined by Brandon Martin last week in the absence of Chris Blevins. And Chris, know that we miss you, buddy. We love you, and we want you to be back here with us. But Lucas, tonight we've got a pretty fine ball game going on so far.
So far, it's pretty good. It's sort of like a little chess match right now. The big thing is each team's made several crucial, kept the drives from continuing or putting points on the board.
3rd and 7 here for the Cougars. And Webster tries to take it up the middle, out to maybe the 19-yard line.
Stop at number 4, Hassan Al-Satani.
Stopped by
Brings up 4th down.
Hassan Al-Satani.
Also in on play number 8, Caleb Hughes.
And Caleb Hughes, no surprise that another Al-Sultani is being heard so far tonight, but it brings up 4th down for Northview, and the Cougars will punt from inside their own 20.
You'll be hearing that name for a few more years. Hussein is a senior. Hassan is only a sophomore.
4th and 12, and Al-Sultani and Rayfield back to receive again. And Rayfield lets it roll. Pigeon Forge going to take it in plus territory,
Ball goes out of bounds at the
but at the 45-yard line of Northview.
Also, Tani almost blocked that punt. That's why it come off his foot weird, and luckily it took a Northview bouncer. They would be getting the ball about the 35-yard line right now.
6:40 remaining here in the second quarter, still tied at 0. As Pigeon Forge comes out to attempt another drive on offense. And as you mentioned, Lucas, several crucial mistakes on both sides of the football so far tonight. But we will see if either one is able to convert to finally get some points on the board here. And, you know, as weird as this game has been so far, it could come down even to the kicking. But Mason Schultz lining up on 1st down. He'll hand off. And finding some running room is Aiden Littles, and he will work out across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. So a 6-yard gain for Littles on the carry, 2nd and 4.
That was a great kick-out ball block by the Pigeon Forge lineman. Opened that up, and like it's one of those instances where the running back does not get touched for the first 5 yards till he meets a linebacker.
2nd and 4, ball at the 39. 6 minutes left in the second quarter, still tied at 0. They'll give to Littles again, and Northview not fooled that time. Brought down at the 41 by a host of Cougars.
They reacted well. It's almost like they knew the play was coming on that one, and the linebacker stepped up and was ready to make the play.
So 3rd and 4 with 5:42 left in the second quarter. Ball on the 39, score still tied at all goose eggs here for Northview and Pigeon Forge. A big Region 2 3A matchup as Mason Schultz lines up in the shotgun. And he will take it himself. Schultz has some room out to the 30-yard line. Actually, Corey Bohannon on the carry.
Stopped by number 21.
Number 19, Tyson McFall. And it'll be a Pigeon Forge 1st down.
The left side of that Northview defense bit hard on the handoff, and Schultz just pulled it out of the gut of the running back and kept it and had Greenfield in front of him.
Tyson McFall coming back in for the second straight play at quarterback on 1st and 10 from the 31. Pigeon Forge trying to change things up a little bit with McFall. looked to be the more mobile quarterback in warm-ups tonight, but we will see here. Hands off, and Aiden Howard maybe gets one on the carry.
McFall's only been here at Pigeon Forge for a couple of weeks now. He transferred in, so it's almost when he's in there, Northview is just pinning their ears back for the run. But I've seen him play before, and he can throw it. He is another.
Leg game against the Tigers.
Yard line. Second and 14 here at the 35 for Pigeon Forge. If you're just joining us, Jake Nichols and Lucas Harkleroad here with you with 4:04 left to play in the second quarter. Score still tied at 0. Schultz, no, McFall going deep. Al-Sultani hauls it in inside the 5-yard line.
That was a big catch by Al-Sultani right there. McFall dropped back and he just threw it up. It became a jump ball, and nobody on Northview side can jump with Al-Sultani.
34 yards on the gain, and first and goal at the 1-yard line for Pigeon Forge. Al-Sultani absolutely mossed his defender, and Pigeon Forge 1 yard from pay dirt. They'll hand off up the middle, touchdown Tigers.
That right side of the offensive line for Pigeon Forge just collapsed Northview defense.
So Pigeon Forge finally with a dose of adrenaline on offense, and Al-Sultani with a big time catch to put the Tigers in positive territory. Or actually, that is going to be number 23, whose name is not listed on the roster tonight.
Not listed on this roster either, Jake.
Nevertheless, the kick is up and good. So Pigeon Forge leads 7-0 with 3:43 left in the second quarter. The Tigers finally on the board, and a big thanks to Hussein Al-Sultani on that drive.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
7-0's a great score to go in halftime with if you can't do anything with, but it could very easily turn around and be a 21-0 or 3-score game by the time the first possession of the second half's over.
Melendez set to kick it off with 3:43 left in the second quarter, and he will take it deep. Northview inside its own 15 and out close to the 30-yard line. Cruz Mendoza on the
number 4, Hassan Al-Sultani.
Return there for Northview.
Take over. First
and tackled by who else? Hassan Al-Sultani for Northview to set up with a first down.
That was a great kickoff by their kicker. He pinned Cruz Mendoza on the right side of the field, and that side of the kickoff team just pinned him in. There was nowhere for him to go. They outnumbered the blockers, and you want to be full speed going straight ahead as soon as you catch the ball, but there was nowhere for him to go.
1st and 10 at the 27 here for Northview. 3:33 left in the second quarter. Webster going to go left side, and with some room across the 40-yard line. Scored us with another big gain, and he has been a big focal point of this Northview offense so far tonight. Another big play right there for a first down.
That was a big gain right there. Yeah, they were finally moving the chains. They marked him out of bounds, but he gave a good lick at the end of that run, and he took a good lick at the same time. They need a couple of plays like this. Keep that clock moving and getting to scoring position.
See from a slot receiver on those sweeps is not afraid to get hit, not afraid to give one either, as they will give it right side this time.
Ball's given by number 23, Alex.
And Cruz Mendoza carries, but looks like there's some laundry on the field.
Even though that was only maybe a 1-yard gain, that was tough running by Mendoza. Like you said on the play before, in this type of offense, you don't want to see the running backs that will scoot out of bounds before they get hit. That just makes it so much easier on the defense. They can pin them to the sidelines, but if you have those 1 or 2 kids that will turn them shoulders and create contact versus avoid it, it makes all the difference in the world.
1st and 10 at the 38 here for Northview. A big gain from Yamin Skordas 2 plays ago, but Alex Cruz Mendoza not getting much just now. Webster gonna throw and intercepted. Judson Statham comes up with the pick.
Number 5, Judson Statham.
And Pigeon Forge gets it back.
1st and 10.
He broke perfect on that throw. That was going to be a tough catch for anybody on the field. Webster come out through it sidearmed, wasn't that high off the ground, but he reacted perfect. Made a great catch on the interception.
Statham, just a sophomore on this Pigeon Forge roster, with a huge play and a chance for the Tigers to go up 2 scores here before halftime. 1st and 10 at the 38 with 2:36 left to play in the second quarter. McFall still in at quarterback in place of Mason Schultz. They'll give to Effler, and Effler churning his legs up to the 35.
That was a great run by Effler on the play. He was actually hit maybe a yard behind the line of scrimmage, then got hit again at the line of scrimmage and still eked out a 3-yard gain on the play.
So Tyson McFall still in, and Scott Meadows going with a taller McFall, I think, the transfer out of Sevier County.
Timeout by Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Claybos Express Shine Car Wash. You don't want to drive around in a dirty, dirty car. You gotta get it washed, gotta get it washed. Wanna show the whole world how fine you are. Go on and get it washed, time to get it washed. Take your foot off the gas and enjoy the ride. See the soap suds fly in the colorful neon light. For a clean, clean, clean like you've never ever seen. Claybos Express Shine Car Wash.
So,
And now with the one on 66, you can visit Buddy's Barbecue. When you leave, drive right over and get you a Krispy Kreme donut.
there you go. I guess if you are a more adventurous eater, you could combine them.
Absolutely.
But, 2nd and 8, ball on the 35. Inside 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Also, Tani on the sweep. Has some room down the sideline. Bulldozes a defender across the 20 and down to the 18.
On a play like that, that was a great run, shifting back and forth by Osotani. But at the same time, you can also see the legs starting to give a little bit on the defenders for the Northview Cougars.
First down at the 18-yard line. Pigeon Forge courtesy of a 17-yard gain on the sweep for Al-Sultani. Pigeon Forge already with 1 touchdown on the board tonight, courtesy of Tyson McFall. Now 1st and 10 at the 18, trying to score once more before the half. 1:25 left to play in the second quarter. And McFall is going to
Keep it.
take it himself. McFall at the 5 with a stiff arm and drag down at the 1 yard line. And a heads-up play there by Bryson Myers to drag McFall before he could reach the end zone, but it still sets up for Pigeon Forge.
McFall has added a much-needed spark for Pigeon Forge these last couple of drives. He has taken them basically from his side of midfield both times to get them in scoring position.
1st and 1 at the 1, a loaded formation here for Pigeon Forge. They give it up the middle, and Maples waltzes in for the touchdown.
Big score, and as we talked about earlier, the one thing Northview for the half.
So Pigeon Forge and Northview, they came into the second quarter tied at 0, but all of a sudden, here comes Tyson McFall to lead the Tigers down the field on a couple straight drives for 2 big touchdowns. 45 seconds left on the clock in the half, and the kick is no good. So a missed opportunity there for a 14th point here for Pigeon Forge, but still a major dose of momentum courtesy of to give the Tigers a 13-0 lead with 45 seconds left in the half.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
1st and 10 at the 27, and 5 seconds left before the half here for Northview. Obviously, Pigeon Forge coming out in a prevent formation on defense.
They might be in a prevent, but they still have number 2 on the field right now. He can get to the football about any time he wants to. Now he's backing up about 20 yards off the football.
Webster gonna try to go deep and hit as he threw by number 24, Joseph Skidmore, and that's the half. Your score, Pigeon Forge 13, Northview nothing. Jake Nichols here with you for your high school sports game of the week. Had to come in front of the camera here for just a moment to give you again a little halftime update. 13-0 in favor of Pigeon Forge here at Jim Whaley Field. And I want to take a second to thank some of our wonderful sponsors here. Krispy Kreme Donuts, again, 2 locations to serve you on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge and Highway 66 in Sevierville. Buddy's Barbecue voted the best barbecue in Sevier County. My Smoky TV Live, obviously, on all those first downs with Victoria and Roddy. Catch them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Claybo's Express Shine Car Wash. Be sure to stop by there to get you a fresh clean on your vehicle at any time. Best car wash you will find in Sevier County, and
Please,
as always,
welcome
Sevier
to the
County
field,
Electric.
the Pigeon Forge
so with
High
that,
School
go ahead and turn it over
band.
to the band here for halftime.
The band is under the direction of band director Nicholas Lloyd and assistant director Sarah Davis. Pigeon Forge High School Marching Band, you may take the field for exhibition.
Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
And we welcome you back to Jim Whaley Field at Pigeon Forge High School. The Tigers leading 13-0 and set to receive here to start the second half as Northview will kick it off. A short kick. And Aiden Little's got some room up the middle. Little's at the 50 and across the 40, brought down at the 33-yard line. Aiden Little's with a spark, and Pigeon Forge with an early chance to go up 3 scores in the second half, starting things off right for this last 24 minutes.
And most of the time, a kicker's worst nightmare, the last line of defense, and he did a great job getting in front, slowing the returner down and keep him out of the end zone.
Little's had a shot right up the middle to pay dirt, but instead a great job there by Northview to bring him down at the 35-yard line. Jake Nichols and Lucas, I'm sorry, what is yours? Harkle Road with me here on a Friday night as Bryce Effler takes the handoff, fights his way up close to the 30-yard line, and it'll bring up second down inside 11.5 minutes left to play in this third quarter, and Pigeon Forge with an electric kickoff return from Aiden Littles to put them in plus territory to start things off in this second half.
Big defensive stance coming up here for Northview. They have got to keep Pigeon Forge out of the end zone. That was good reaction by the linebackers. He still got a gain of 4 yards, but their legs looked a little bit fresher than they did at the end of the second quarter. So big time D is what Northview needs right now.
2nd and 7 from the 32. And Schultz going to go left side. And Al-Sultani rocked at the 28-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. But a big stop from Jackson Gent for Northview.
Kyle Colesi.
He didn't actually make the stop, but 44 Potiker did a great job getting that big mid out there and pulling on the jersey till help got there, or Al-Sultani was gone.
3rd and 3, and you talk about Al-Sultani's athleticism. That says it right there in just a crowd of white jerseys that if not for that jersey grab, he would have been down the sideline to the end zone. But 3rd and 3, ball on the 28 here for Pigeon Forge, a big third down for the Northview Cougars. Handoff up the middle, some running room, and Brady Maples says, "See you later, touchdown, Pigeon Forge."
He saw the seam and he was gone, untouched off that left tackle. That was a big run by Pigeon Forge. And
28 yards for the score from number 34, Aiden Howard. And Pigeon Forge switching up those running backs quite a bit early in this second half. Maples will take it himself, got a good block, and noses his way into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Claybo's Express Shine Car Wash. You don't want to drive around in a dirty, dirty car. You gotta get it washed, gotta get it washed. Wanna show the whole world how fine you are. Go on and get it washed, time to get it washed. Take your foot off the gas and enjoy the ride. See the soap suds fly in the colorful neon light. For a clean, clean, clean like you've never ever seen. Claybo's Express Shine Car Wash.
Melendez will kick again. And Northview takes it inside its own 15.
Kicks taken by number 23,
Tripped
Alex
up
Cruz Mendoza.
at the 25 is Alex Cruz
Tripped up by
Mendoza.
number 25, Caleb Wolf.
And
It'll be first and
Northview
10
set to start
Cougars.
inside its own 30-yard line.
Big drive for Northview coming up right here.
Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
Ball will be placed actually at the 25 exactly. 9:59 left to play in this third quarter. 21-0 here for Pigeon Forge after an early third quarter spark and a late surge in that second quarter, with that 20-minute break in halftime providing no stoppage to that Pigeon Forge offense.
They just kept on moving forward.
Webster going to hand off as Cruz Mendoza tries to find a seam
Ball's carried by
and
number
shut
23,
down
Alex
quickly
Cruz
by Caleb
Mendoza.
Hughes in the backfield.
Stop at number 8, Caleb
That's one of those
Hughes.
instances, even though Cruz Mendoza is quick and very fast, did not get the shoulder
Second
start
down.
running east and west. We got to go north and south. That's the only thing Northview can do.
And a really good job there by Hughes, too, getting off his block and finding his way into the backfield quickly as Northview is set up with a second and very long 17 here at Jim Whaley Field. 9:21 left to play in the third quarter. Northview trailing by 21, needing a score on this drive. Left side, and the pass falls incomplete from Weber, and intended that time for Rojas on the left side. Instead, it'll bring up third down and 17. 9 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Jake Nichols and Lucas Harkleroad joining you for this Your High School Sports Game of the Week, a pivotal Region 2 3A matchup. And so far, it has been all Pigeon Forge in the last 3 minutes of the second quarter, first 2 minutes of the third quarters where they've gotten most of those touchdowns. 3rd and 17 from the 18. Webster going to throw. No, tries to run it himself. Got some room out to the 25, out to the 30, and brought down right at the 34-yard line. Webster close to a first down, and his first big burst of momentum on the ground so far tonight, showing what he can do with those legs, but we'll see if he can spread it out to the passing game because, as we saw in that first half, Lucas, Pigeon Forge is just daring Northview to throw the football.
Yes, they are. And as you saw right there with Webster, once he gets him eyes up and he gets the feet going, he's hard to bring down. He's slippery. A few more plays like that should open up some of the running game, should open up some of the passing game. But right now, if Pigeon Forge comes down and score, be a little bit too late.
Rayfield takes it at his own 32. Has a seam down the sideline, and Rayfield tripped up at the 36.
Right now, you can just see a difference in Pigeon Forge, the way they're running the football, even on punt returns, quarterbacks, running backs. That you can tell when their legs are moving, the pads are down low, they're running with a lot of confidence.
1st and 10 at the 36.
And Northview already back on their heels early in this third quarter. 8:12 left to play in the third frame. And Pigeon Forge with another chance to go up big here, already leading 21-0. And here comes Mason Schultz at quarterback again with Aiden Howard to his left. Howard with a touchdown already tonight, and he'll take it again up the middle. Tries to bounce outside, but brought down by big number 68, Caleb Snyder for the Cougars. And Snyder, a good job there wrapping up Howard before he could get any momentum.
That was good. You have got to get your hands on these running backs before they get past the line of scrimmage. Even if they still get 2 yards, that's better than them getting full speed and getting 7 or 8 or even going to the end zone. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but this is what, 4th, 5th time in a row that Pigeon Forge has started on their side of the field.
2nd and 8 from the 34. Schultz still in at quarterback, gonna throw. Goes deep. Has a man caught and inside the 10-yard line.
Number 35,
Aiden reception.
He stopped by number 28, Jackson Wentz.
They tried to take a shot to Littles earlier in the night, went right through his hands, but he comes up big this time to put the Tigers at the 10-yard line.
That was a perfectly delivered strike right into the heart of the defense. Perfect position, easy catch for the receiver.
1st and 10 at the 10 here for Pigeon Forge. 7:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tigers already up 21-0. Schultz hands off left side. And Littles, no one gonna stop him. Touchdown, Pigeon Forge. Aiden Littles with a reception to put the Tigers inside the red zone, and he takes the rock on the next play for a 4-0 lead.
There was no stopping him. He wanted the end zone on that carry.
Aiden Littles ripping off 2 huge plays for this Pigeon Forge offense, both in chunks. And the Tigers going to several different playmakers tonight, but making it count for what is now a 28-0 lead as the kick is good. 6:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and Pigeon Forge with a lightning bolt of 2 scores in less than 6 minutes to start this 3rd period of play.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
You don't quit. Keep fighting. And from what I've seen of them this year, they have a lot of fight left in them.
6:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Cruz Mendoza takes it out close to the 35-yard line, and that's where Johnny Webster will set up shop.
And number 8, Caleb Hughes. It'll be 1st and 10, Cougars.
1st and 10, Northview at their own 32. Pigeon Forge coming out
Ball will be placed at the 32-yard line
with a 3-man front once again, or a 4-man front actually. But the size on that Pigeon Forge line is quite menacing for Northview. As Webster, a little bit of confusion, but he'll give it to Skirtus and not going to get anything wrapped up quickly in the backfield.
Stop by number 2, Hussein Al-Sutani.
I think Al-Sutani has a magnet for the football. He has been all over the place tonight. Anywhere the football is, you'll see number 2 popping up.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Actually, 2nd and 12, brought back 2 yards for Skirtus. And the ball on the 30-yard line with a little less than 6 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 28-0 here for Pigeon Forge. Northview trying to find something bright out of this matchup as Cruz Mendoza slices ahead for 1 yard.
Looked like a really good play developing there at the time for Northview, but as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, there was 4, 5, then 6 orange jerseys right there to meet him. There was just nowhere for him to go. Actually, the offensive line did a pretty decent job on that play. Going back to what you'd mentioned earlier, Jake, talking about the size of Pigeon Forge line, not only do they have great size, but they can move. They can move vertically, and they are quick at the same time. That's a good combination to have.
3rd and 11 at the 31 with 5.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Webster fires and incomplete, intended that time for Tyler Gildersleeve, but well over his head, and brings up 4th and 11.
Just a little bit hot on that throw. They're going to get some luck.
5:15 left in the 3rd quarter, and Northview comes out to punt once more. Also Tunney and Rayfield back to receive again. Punt almost blocked.
Good looking punt.
But Rayfield muffs it, takes it inside his own 40, finds a lane down the sideline. Rayfield at the 30-yard line, and a great job by Keegan Rayfield, turning what almost looked like another chance for Northview to pounce on the football. Instead, moves it across the opposing 35-yard line and well into Cougar territory. Looks like there is an injured Cougar on the play. Trying to get you a number here.
42.
And
maybe.
That's going to be either 42 Ronnie Kales or number 43 Braden Lapine. Down. And a silent crowd here at Jim Whaley Field for the injured Cougar. Certainly not something you want to see in a high school football season like this, and especially not down 28-0 here in the third quarter. I want to take a moment to thank a couple of our sponsors, Sevier County Electric, as Lucas is sitting here with me. And Lucas, we talked about Sevier County Electric already, but I think you also wanted to mention the job that you guys are doing with United Way as well.
Oh yeah, I have been selected to be a part of the United Way Dancing with Stars coming up in February. This is I
think I felt my eyes burn when you said that.
I know. I believe everybody has when our team is really great. Two of the three of us. Our choreographer, she's awesome. The other dancer.
I didn't mean your team. I just meant you dancing.
Oh, I know, but I'm the weakest link. You know, we can put another game show in there, but yeah, it goes to support Sevier County United Way. It actually takes place in February. Voting's open on United Way Sevierville's website, and we would much appreciate any support that you can give our team.
Number 34, Aiden Howard.
So be sure and support Lucas's team for that, as
Number 28,
he has
Jackson
been
Gant.
fantastic with me color commentating tonight, but I have not yet seen him on the dance floor, so I guess we will see.
Well, I think you're just being nice on the color commentating, but I can tell you it is not as swift on the dance floor. I can promise you that.
2nd and 1 at the 22 after the carry from Aiden Howard for Pigeon Forge. Inside 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter, and Pigeon Forge already leading 28-0, knocking on the door of a 5-score lead.
Timeout, Pigeon Forge.
And it'll be a timeout for the Tigers. As
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Stop by number 72, Tyler.
Good push by the offensive line, and the running back, if you watch his feet and his shoulders turn, he's full speed when he's got that ball. They are on a mission right now, but Northview, they stood up pretty good on that defensive stance.
And I think it was a good adjustment from Heath Woods as well defensively when he saw that mismatch. Fortunate that Scott Meadows had gotten down inside 5 seconds on what would have been a delay of game, or else, like you said, that play a couple minutes ago had touchdown written all over it. 1st and 10 at the 20, and left side as Effler finds some room. Touchdown, Pigeon Forge, bulldozing in for another Tiger touchdown. 20 yards. And a 35-0 lead perhaps coming up here for Pigeon Forge.
That was a classic run by Effler. If you noticed, Stennett had got his hands on the jersey. He did the number one thing, it's even going back 30 years that they taught you. Never quit driving the feet. Keep the feet moving, and he drug him. It was a great effort by Stennett, but it was just picture perfect to watch the running back keep the feet moving all the way through, and then finally broke the tackle and got into the end zone.
34-0 right now with 3:26 left to play in the third quarter. Jake Nichols here with you on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week with Lucas Harkle Road if you're just joining us. And the Tigers having their way with the Cougars in this second half as the kick is up and good. So make it an official 5-score lead here for Pigeon Forge, 35-0, courtesy of Bryce Effler.
Playboys Express Shine Car Wash. You don't want to drive around in a dirty, dirty car. You gotta get it washed, gotta get it washed. Wanna show the whole world how fine you are. Go on and get it washed, time to get it washed. Take your foot off the gas and enjoy the ride. See the soap suds fly in the colorful neon light. For a clean, clean, clean like you've never ever seen. Playboys Express Shine Car Wash.
Alcoa, just the pinnacle of 3A teams here in the state of Tennessee. I believe 18 state titles now under Gary Rankin, and or not under Gary Rankin, but just in Alcoa history. But Rankin, obviously the winningest coach in the state, in the history of the state of Tennessee, and for good reason. If you talk to him and see the way that he runs that Alcoa program, there are no bones about it.
No.
In the way that they come out and run it down your throat, as Webster will do here.
Ball skipper number 3, Johnny Webster.
And he will get a couple yards.
And the scary thing is, and you see it every year with Maryville and Alcoa, there's no weak link in the armor. I mean, it just continues to build.
Yeah, you talk about, you know, the class that Maryville lost last year with guys like Cade Chambers, with T. Hodge, you know, with Mason Shelton, you know, obviously Hodge doing well so far at Tennessee this year, but Carson Jones and that Maryville offense this year have not missed a beat.
No.
You know, Derek Hunt just does a fantastic job. I'd like to have said Derek Rang there for a moment, getting my teams mixed up here for a moment, as we are closer to Gatlinburg-Pittman right now geographically. But Skordas takes it for a couple.
Jamin Skordas.
And it'll bring up third down, flag on the play.
Stop at number 4, Hassan Al-Sultani.
One of my favorite stories years ago, and this was when Quarles was still at Maryville. It's when ESPN was courting Maryville and Alcoa to play on their Labor Day weekend days, and both the coaches at that time stepped forward and said, we're not going to do it. They would have to discontinue the rivalry, Maryville-Alcoa, and that rivalry right there, them playing, did so much for the community that they wouldn't give up the thing for ESPN to go play.
And if that doesn't tell you what that game means to those communities and just how tense it is, I remember, you know, talking to a guy that's now at UAB, AJ Davis, who played for Maryville. You know, his family, I believe either his father or grandfather played at Alcoa. But he chose, or actually I believe his grandfather and father played at Alcoa, but instead he chose to go across town to Maryville and don the red for the Rebels. And, you know, he talked about that in a couple interviews, obviously leading up to that game in all 4 years that he was at Maryville. But just what it meant to him to be able to put on that jersey and to see that his family was still behind him too. But that is a game, it's the Auburn-Alabama of high school rivalries across the country, really, because they're so close, and you can really just draw a line between whether you wear red or burgundy and gray.
Absolutely, and you can't pick against either one of them.
You can't,
so
yeah.
Even when Hunt went in to start coaching, it's still so close, and it's just sort of like no matter what Alcoa does, Maryville still has that just little bit of lady luck on their side.
Yep, that's exactly right. Giving you a couple other scores here. Carter is taking on Knox Central right now. Webster trying to find some running room.
Nowhere to
and
go.
Brought down in the backfield again. A swarm of Pigeon Forge Tigers on his heels. And he'll go down at the 12-yard line, brings up 3rd and long.
Number 42, Sean Whitworth.
Sean Whitworth on the tackle there for Pigeon Forge. And 3rd and long here for the Cougars with inside 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Clock ticking and the Cougars trailing by 35. A couple other scores for you here. Grace Christian 34 and CCA 38. Knox Central 14, Carter 6. Catholic 44, West Green 7. Farragut 14, trailing Dobbins Bennett, which has 28. As Northview will get a carry from Skirtus across the 15-yard line, maybe out to the 20.
Looks like a little extra activity going on. There's a yellow flag come flying up in the air.
So things may be getting a little chippy here in Pigeon Forge with the Tigers leading by 5 touchdowns. And that's another thing that, depending on who this is on, that Heath Woods and Scott Meadows will have to work on, is maintaining that discipline in games that already appear to be all but done.
Yes. This is a close town rivalry, same county, not 15 minutes apart from one another. These kids have grown up playing Little League, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, so they know each other pretty good. But the one thing, and you have things happen, that's, you know, football's a different animal, but they're not, neither side is quitting. Even with Northview down right now 35-0 with a running clock, they still have a little grit and a little fight left in them.
4th and very long, with the Cougars facing a 4th and 30 as we close toward the end of the 3rd quarter. Bringing on one more addition, and I believe they're going to let it run out. And they do. 2-1 zip. And that'll close the 3rd quarter. 35-0 in favor of Pigeon Forge. All Tigers here as we head to the 4th.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
The Cougars set to punt again. And Hassan Al-Sultani and Keegan Rayfield only at the Cougar 28 to receive, which tells you how deep this Northview punter is. Gets a great kick out across the 50. And a great job there for Northview to pin the Tigers at least back in their own territory. Granted, only 6 yards to cross the 50, but still, that could have easily been another starting point in plus territory for Pigeon Forge.
Oh, absolutely. And I will tell you one thing. Number 9 from Northview, Kuznicki, whose name I love to say, by the way, he has done a great job punting. He's been under pressure a couple times, handled a couple of not so great snaps, ball's a little bit slick with the dew on it, but he's getting a good high punt that's actually turning over. And when the game was still within reach, Pigeon Forge, when they tried to field it, was having a hard time holding on to it with a fumble early and 2 that Northview didn't cover.
66 degrees tonight, mostly clear, but a little bit of sprinkling going on during pregame. But Lucas, now a perfect night for football as Pigeon Forge sets up 1st and 10 at their own 44. And it looks like there may have been a penalty before the snap. A clear night here when I half expected to see a little bit of rain given the clouds beforehand, but Tennessee and Georgia tomorrow, that's going to be a wet one in Athens.
According to the forecast, you are correct, which means we should get to see old ugly football.
That's
just
right.
nasty in the trenches. And with our offensive line now and their offensive line, even with our defensive lines, it's going to be fun to watch.
It is, and that's what you love, and what Aiden Howard, showed us just now, pushing almost to the 50-yard line, is that down-home, smash-mouth SEC football. Obviously here tonight in Region 2, 3A of the TSSAA, some of these kids tonight, or actually all of them, probably dreaming of one day either donning an orange and white that's similar to that of Pigeon Forge, or at least going somewhere to play in college. And we've seen that in recent years. Kevin Burkett, obviously, for Gatlinburg-Pittman, a major standout in this area with a chance to go somewhere in the future. And going to hand off again up the middle. Maples gets across the 50 and out to the 46-yard line. And that'll bring up another My Smoky TV Live first down for Pigeon Forge. Check out Victoria and Roddy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. for everything you need to know in Sevier County. And as always, be sure and tune in February for that Dancing with the Stars featuring our very own Lucas Harkleroad. I can guarantee you I will be tuning in to watch that.
Hey, as long as you vote, each vote is $5, and there's a couple of different awards that you get. One for the most money raised, but the other one is the winning team. Each one actually gets a mirror ball, just like in the real Dancing with the Stars.
That's pretty good.
So, it's one of those things where I know I'm not that good at it, but when you put a prize on the line and you get some bragging rights, that changes it. So you want to get competitive.
Have you got any buddies facing off against it with you?
I know several of there's 6 total groups in here, but I will tell you what, this is going to be some of the most challenging. I played all kinds of ball, but this is going to be some of the most challenging stuff I've ever done.
You know, I will say that football players sometimes do ballet to get better balance. 2nd and 9 at the 44. Pigeon Forge hands off, and Effler not going to get much. A great tackle on the legs made there by number 28, Jackson Gent. And Gent, a good job there. Effler, we've seen so far tonight, he can keep those legs turning, so Gent able to close up Effler quickly and bring him down. And a good job there to force a 3rd and 9. 7:50 and ticking remaining here in the third quarter.
And like you said earlier, what do we want to see? Effler, big name that we've called on a lot tonight for Pigeon Forge. Jackson Gent, he's been out there the entire ball game. Neither one of them's quitting. They're still giving it their all. This is not scrub time for either team right now. This is still good football players out on the field.
Aiden Maples takes it close to the 40-yard line, and Northview with a defensive stand that probably would have liked to see earlier in the night, but still good to see here in the fourth quarter, forcing 4th and 8.
One thing that's exciting is it's 35-0, clock's running continuous, but when a kid gets out there and makes a tackle when the game's not even mattering, and then you hear the stands on the far side for their team cheering, that's what the game's about.
It is.
To let them know, continue to fight, we're going to be here for you no matter what the score is.
And that's the great thing about high school football, regardless of where you are. 4th and 7, and the Tigers punt it away. And Northview going to take it inside its own 10. A fantastic punt there from Bryce Effler to pin Northview deep here with 6.5 minutes left to play. And, you know, going back to what we were talking about that Tennessee game earlier, just down home, smash mouth, hit you in the mouth, SEC football, and running it up the gut. I think we're going to see a lot of Ty Chandler and Eric Gray trying to be established early for Tennessee, and that's going to be a big step tomorrow for the Vols in trying to dismantle a Georgia defensive line that led the SEC in rushing defense last year. But they do get Sean Schamberger back tomorrow, so that is a big plus for the Vols defensive secondary.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, I love both our running backs, even the freshman that stepped in last week. But Gray, when he runs the football, it brings back memories of Travis Stevens. I mean, he gets them shoulders turned, and he's looking to hit somebody, and looking to go north and south.
And just like Jabari Small was last week, whenever we saw him in that Missouri game, I was able to watch Jabari once when he was at Briarcrest, and he had a play similar to what we saw of him last week against Missouri, just bowling over a defender. So that was really good to see of him last week. 2nd and 7 here for the Cougars, pinned deep at the 11.
We got a flag. And while we work this out, one thing, and anybody that's out there listening, please thank your sponsors for this. Thank your high school sports and Roddy, because they think about how far ahead you all have been. You all have been doing this, what, 4 or 5 years now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I've been here this year and last year, but Roddy, yes, and Chris Blevins and Chris Reddick for 4 and 5 years now, as the Cougars will take it up close to the 20-yard line.
But with the pandemic, the bleachers are at half capacity basically. This is the only way some people are getting to watch their kids and their family and different plays play high school sports. This type of avenue, this streaming, I was reading this week, and if you're listening, Mom, yes, I did read. But with Huddle, with the streaming services out there, used to, you had to send your VHS tapes to coaches, and you just prayed, wish for a Hail Mary that somebody would actually look at it. But now they have people that's paid just to go through and check services like you have, and Huddle and different things. So it's a lot easier for a student athlete to get recognized these days.
And that's the great thing about it, is Cruz Mendoza will take it out across the 25, close to the 26-yard line. Is, you know, like I did last night, going to Alabama for Sports Illustrated to watch SI All-American candidate Dylan Brooks. He's a Tennessee commit, and a big name to watch here in the next couple years as a senior right now in the Yellowhammer State as he heads to Knoxville. But, you know, it's as simple as taking a video or streaming like we're doing right now and tagging the player on Twitter, and that is it. You know, and it's amazing how things have changed in the past 10 years. But 2nd and 3,
good run,
and Skurdas gets ahead for a first down. Looks like there may have been a little extra after the play, but a My Smoky TV first down for the Northview Cougars, and you can hear the Cougar fans loving it. And Lucas is exactly what you said. They're down 35-0 right now, but a first down like that and the push they got on that offensive line, the fans still love to see it, and they're letting them know they're here for them.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, this is week 8 of high school football. Who thought 3 months ago that we'd be in this position, actually able to watch a football game?
But we are, and we are ever so grateful. 1st and 10 with 2.5 minutes left to play, and Cruz Mendoza takes it around the right end, pushes ahead across the 40-yard line, and Alex Cruz Mendoza showing right there why he is one of the heart and soul members of this Northview offense, just refusing to give up and still fighting for that yardage.
Oh, absolutely. I love to see that. No matter what the score is, you know, just the will to continue saying, I want to be better than you. For this one play, I want to give my all.
But that all will be negated, unfortunately, for Northview, as there is a holding call on the Cougars. 2:10 left to play, 35-0 score here for Pigeon Forge. And closing in on the Tigers' 4-2 start on the year here in week 8. Webster and Company lining up at the 25. Do want to thank all of our fantastic sponsors again. Sevier County Electric being one of the chief among those, of course, as Lucas has joined me for tonight. Going to give it up the middle and slam down at the 35-yard line is Skurdas, but a fantastic hit there from Pigeon Forge. Defensive back Noah Dyer. Dyer absolutely slammed into Skurdas at the 35-yard line.
It almost looked like the old Oklahoma one-man drill. Just go full speed and see who falls forward, who falls backwards.
I remember I was little. Obviously, I'm a pretty small guy, which is kind of why I went more the broadcasting route. But I remember in an Oklahoma drill in high school, I was able to literally chop a guy when I had the football, just bowling over him, as that is exactly what Alex Cruz Mendoza will try to do here across the 40-yard line. And you can hear the cheers from that Northview sideline still supporting the Cougars as we near the 30-second mark of this Region 2 3A game. Up next for Pigeon Forge, they will face Austin East next Thursday here at Pigeon Forge. And for Northview up ahead, they will face Scott in another Region 2 3A battle. The second's ticking down now, and Northview going to try one more play.
Good juke.
They hand up the middle, scored us across the 50.
Ball carried by number 5, Jamin Sturgis.
And another bright spot for the Northview Cougars. But it is the Pigeon Forge Tigers who will come away with the win, 35-0. And Scott Meadows 4-2 in his return to Pigeon Forge.
That was a good win for Pigeon Forge. One thing I'll take out of this, even though the score probably don't reflect it, Northview side doesn't really get it, but after seeing what's going on, and I believe that Coach Woods and Coach Meadows both have their respective programs trending in the correct location, right direction.
That's very true. And you know, if you have to give a game ball tonight, I think it would be to a combination of Aiden Littles, Aiden Howard, Brady Maples, and Hussein Al-Sultani. Obviously, you know, you have to include Tyson McFall there a little bit, but more of those guys and that wide receiver core and those Pigeon Forge running backs just taking the lead tonight for a 35-0 win that puts the Tigers in good position heading into next week's matchup.
Yes, they're in the driver's seat for those last positions. Northview's got a rebound. They've got to be ready to go coming up against Scott County next week, and then they'll have a week off and then have Alcoa. They've already played Alcoa, Austin East, and both of those will be home games for the Cougars.
So, of course, as mentioned, Pigeon Forge set to take on Austin East next Thursday. Then they will take on Kingston and then head to Scott County for their last game of the 2020 regular season. So again, Scott Meadows 4-2 in his return to Pigeon Forge this season. A 35-0 win tonight over the Northview Academy Cougars. And Lucas, it has been a pleasure having you on tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake. I've had a blast.
Well, that is going to do it for us. For Roddy Woods, for Victoria Green, for Chris Reddick behind the camera, for Chris Blevins, who's back at home. Chris, we miss you. We love you. And we can't wait to see you back with us soon. And for Lucas Harkleroad, I am Jake Nichols saying good night from Pigeon Forge and Jim Whaley Field. 35-0 in favor of the Tigers.